After 11 fucking years, Marinette finally got akumatized. And I will admit, while I actually loved the entire episode, I just wish there was more. Like, why was Lady Chaos 24 minutes and this one was only like 21 minutes? Like, what was the reason? Oh my, I don't even know what to say. Hey, it's the hero doing a review for what I would say to be one of the highlights of season 6. Even if some fans were left disappointed, I am actually happy. I absolutely loved this episode. Anyway, let's get started.
Le joli petit couple parfait.
Ils sont tellement amoureux.
Le modèle auquel tout le monde voudrait ressembler. Tout ce bonheur, c'est insupportable, imbuvable, inacceptable.
Jamais. Pire, plus on essaye, et plus on les rapproche.
Je peux être moi-même quand je suis avec toi. Je t'aime, Marinette. Et si un jour on arrivait à détruire leur couple, ce serait comme détruire l'idée même de l'amour. Mais on a besoin d'un petit coup de pouce pour être sûr de réussir cette fois.
Bonjour à vous trois.
We open the episode with Ray, Nelson, and Loic talking about how no matter what they do, they can't seem to break up Adrienne until now. They found a way to finally do it with the help of Chrysalis, and I think it was a good idea to get help from her since, as we see later in the episode, using powers always works with manipulating situations. Marinette writes in her diary about how she and Adrien are the perfect couple, but she still can't be herself because she can't tell him about his father being a supervillain. Also, in my Lady Chaos review, I mentioned how Marinette is becoming similar to Lila, and yeah, I was right. Lila has lots of journals where she writes things in, and also does Marinette. They are much more similar than you think. Marinette takes the letter with her and heads to Adrien's house to have breakfast and pick him up for school, and Adrien notices the letter.
C'est une lettre pour moi? Tu n'as pas prévu de me la donner?
J'ai besoin de savoir ce qui se passerait si par exemple un matin, alors que je t'apportais des chouquettes en croyant que tu adores ça, je découvrais qu'en réalité tu préfères les croissants et que tu me l'as caché.
So Marinette is deciding if she should tell him or not by first asking him how he would react to any situation where she was lying to him and wasn't being honest. This plays into what will happen later in the episode, and I think it was done absolutely well. We see one of the idiot trio filming Alia, Nino, Marinette, and Adrien on their phone, and we get to ancient Greek class where Adrien and Sublime talk about how they both want to run 5 kilometers in 20 minutes. And like, what? Also, for the Americans, 5 kilometers is 3.1 miles, and that is a long run. And how are you not out of breath? Prim shows up, and Adrien says that he doesn't take ancient Greek class, but today is a special day because he wants to watch a movie in its original language. He tells Adrien that he sees Marinette and Nino running off behind a tree, looking all sneaky and holding hands. Adrien starts to worry but brushes it off.
Tout va bien, Adrien?
Oui, tout va bien. J'ai cru voir... Rien du tout. Non, je n'ai rien vu.
Now, based off the synopsis we got, we all knew what was gonna happen, but seeing it play out is absolute genius, and it works out perfectly too. We head to the rooftop garden where the real Marinette is with the real Prem, and Marinette is still spiraling, worrying if she should tell Adrien about the letter. Prem happens to be recording Marinette while she is in the garden as he is recording baby birds about to hatch. Adrien leaves his class and fake Prem asks Adrien if he and Marinette aren't together anymore. Adrien says of course they are, and Prem gives him a hug and says good luck. And those words make Adrien overthink the situation.
Marinette, c'est pas bien ce que t'as fait. Qu'est-ce que j'ai fait? Dis, je me posais une question. Comment tu réagirais si tu apprenais que quelqu'un t'a caché quelque chose, mais pour ton bien?
Tu as quelque chose à m'avouer, Marinette?
Wow, this school feels way too real all of a sudden. I swear, you do one thing that is bad and somehow everyone knows about it. Who even saw it and started spreading the word about it? And this is so sad to see. We as the audience know that they don't know, but still, it's so sad. Nino and Alia come along and Adrien thinks that it was all a prank by the two of them. Oh gosh, I love Adrien, but imagine being so stupid that you gaslight yourself into believing something you came up with. Anyway, he goes for fencing and the others just shrug it off.
Il va juste falloir aller un petit peu plus loin, les amis. J'ai dit non! Pas moyen, jamais de la vie!
On avait dit pas de bisous.
Alors notre plan est voué à l'échec. Dans ce cas, c'est Loïc qui fera Marinette. Et on fera semblant, comme dans les films.
Ray! Do you know what rhymes with Ray? Gay. Ray is gay. Why did he volunteer to do it? Ray, is there something you're not telling us? Also, I was hoping that Nelson would play Marinette and Loic would play Nino. And you'll see why in a few minutes. In the meantime, Alia and Marinette are in pottery class, and Marinette mentions the croissants and chouquettes thing. Basically, how do you tell someone that you no longer like chouquettes, but now prefer croissants? We get back to the boys carrying out their plan by getting Adrien out of his fencing class.
Monsieur d'Argencourt, vous permettez que je vous emprunte Adrien un instant?
Marinette? Non. Marinette?
And that was just evil. I felt so icked out when I watched it. I knew it wasn't Marinette and Nino, but still, it was super odd to see. But this is what I was talking about. Ray and Loic kissed here. And I kinda wished it would have been Nelson and Loic, because why not? I don't know, I like that show better, but obviously it won't be real since they hate love for some reason. Adrien follows them, obviously confused, and he loses them since they transform into other students when Adrien catches up to them. Adrien runs outside and finds Nino, and Adrien goes off on him like he is actually livid, which I loved.
Pote, t'es sérieux là? Je viens de te voir embrasser Marinette et tu fais comme si de rien n'était. Moi, embrasser Marinette? Mais qu'est-ce qui te prend? N'essaie pas de me mentir, c'est pas comme si tu t'étais jamais intéressé à elle.
Vous parlez de quoi, les garçons?
Du fait que Nino et toi êtes tombés amoureux l'un de l'autre.
Quoi?
N'importe quoi, mon pote. C'est ce que tu as écrit dans la lettre que tu n'oses pas me donner. C'est ça. Que tu ne m'aimes plus, c'est une chose. Ça ne se décide pas. Mais que tu me montes par-dessus le marché, c'est vraiment insupportable.
Honestly, this entire scene is so insane, and it's not stupid. It actually makes sense. And what I like is that Adrien isn't angry with one of them, he is angry with both of them. Gosh, it plays so well into one another. All the misunderstandings make sense and it seems so valid. Nino did like Marinette in season 1, so Adrien believing that something happened between them makes total sense.
C'est vrai ce qu'il raconte? Pas du tout, c'est n'importe quoi. Comment on a pu en arriver là? Je croyais qu'on était amis. Arrête un peu, évidemment qu'on est potes.
Adrien, je comprends pas ce qui se passe, c'est toi que j'aime.
S'il te plaît, arrête de mentir et dis-moi ce que tu n'arrives pas à me dire depuis ce matin.
Mais je...
Alors c'était ça en fait, toute ton histoire de chouquette et de croissant.
Quoi?
Adrien c'est la chouquette et Nino c'est le croissant. Avant t'étais un franc chouquette, mais maintenant tu préfères les croissants. Je croyais qu'on n'avait aucun secret l'un pour l'autre. On s'était promis qu'on se mentirait jamais.
Mais voyons mon petit pain au raisin, tu sais que je te mentirai jamais.
Ne m'adressez plus jamais la parole.
Je comprends pas. Qu'est-ce qui nous a...
This is insane! I think this might be foreshadowing to what will happen when Adrien finds out the truth. He and Marinette will break up, and Marinette and Alia won't be friends anymore. Wow! And what makes this scene even more impactful is the voice acting. These are such good performances by the voice actors. Alia runs off crying, Adrien runs off crying with Nino and Marinette running after them respectively. The idiot trio change shape again, one into Sublime and the other into Adrien.
Adrien, qu'est-ce que tu lui as fait? J'ai rien fait, rien du tout, ça n'a pas de sens. Mais Adrien, je t'aime. Tu ne sais pas aimer Adrien. Moi, je saurais.
Thank goodness this is a fake Sublime, because if this was the real one, fans would be ripping her apart on social media. But is this also foreshadowing? Will Adrien and Sublime start to date after Adrianette breaks up? That would be interesting, but we haven't seen that much interaction between them, but I do see potential. While that was happening, the real Adrien and Prem are talking, and that is when Adrien realizes he's been tricked by the idiot trio. Prem shows him the video of Marinette on the rooftop garden early in the morning, and Adrien goes back running to Marinette.
Tu ne sais pas aimer Adrien. Moi, je saurais.
Adrien sees that it was the Chopped Trio's doing with superpowers, and then we see Lila was inside the school the entire time.
C'est le moment de passer à la partie la plus intéressante de mon plan. La raison pour laquelle j'ai accepté d'aider ces 3 incompétents.
Akumatizing Marinette. That was her objective. And that's the thing with Lila this season. She isn't really focused on getting the Miraculouses with the akumatized villains. She is collecting information. And at the end, once she knows the identities of Ladybug and Cat Noir, she will strike. And if she so happens to get the Miraculouses through an akumatized villain, well, then it just so happens to be luck. Adrien sees the Akuma going into the room where Marinette is, and we finally get Cat Noir's transformation. While I do like it, I feel like it was unnecessarily long and extended. Like, I wish they did the same thing they did with Ladybugs. They added some stuff but kept the base of it. But either way, I still liked it. It was cool, but not as cool as the original because I feel like it is almost impossible to get the same feel as the original transformation with this new animation.
Plat, transforme-moi!
Marinette is on the floor crying while Tiki is trying to make her feel better. She hears Cat Noir scream Cataclysm and she goes off to hide. The Akuma enters the room and goes into Marinette's bag, and I have a few questions.
Bonjour, pardonne mon intrusion, mais j'ai entendu ton cri de désespoir lorsque ton amoureux t'a brisé le cœur.
Adrien, mon Adrien, j'ai perdu mon Adrien.
Transformation. Marinette.
Like, why didn't he break her purse? Why didn't he destroy it? Then the Ultra Kuma. Like, hear me out. I know we've waited 11 years for this, so the writers decided to just let it happen. But if he had just cataclysmed her purse, none of this would have continued. But I'm kind of glad he didn't do it. That way we got to see Marinette akumatized. You have no idea how long we've been waiting for this. I can hear Angel of Darkness playing. God, the scene was so cool to see.
Tu ferais n'importe quoi pour que ton Adrien t'aime à nouveau, n'est-ce pas?
Oui, je l'aime plus que tout.
Si seulement tu avais le pouvoir de renverser le cœur des gens, ainsi ton amoureux t'aimerait à nouveau.
Et ça ferait de mal à personne.
Bien sûr que non. Ça permettrait seulement qu'Adrien et toi soyez de nouveau amoureux.
Je peux te donner ce pouvoir, tu sais, si tu es consent, bien sûr.
Comment devrais-je t'appeler?
Renverse-cœur.
I gasped. It was so shocking to see this happen after 11 fucking years. It's finally happening. Marinette is getting akumatized. Honestly, I think the build-up this entire episode to this moment was really well done. It makes sense, and while we are getting fan service, basically, we are also seeing something interesting about Marinette. She is obsessed with Adrien. If she really loved him, she wouldn't let herself get akumatized, or at least not for the reason to make him fall in love with her again. That seems kind of messed up. And we finally get to see her akumatized form, Heartfixer. Damn, that power stance. She looks so powerful, which I love actually, since before she was rendered powerless, but now she has the power to fix things. Oh my gosh, this is so epic and cool. I will say this again. After 11 damn years of pain and suffering, we finally have Marinette akumatized. You do not understand how hyped I am about this.
En échange de ce pouvoir renverse-cœur, je te demande juste de me donner les Miraculous de Ladybug et Chat Noir. Ce qui, si jamais tu étais Ladybug, ne devrait pas trop poser de problème. Renverse-cœur, es-tu
Tu ne m'as pas répondu, renverse-cœur.
Es-tu Ladybug, renverse-cœur?
Lila asking this question but not getting an answer is all the proof I need to know that she is definitely Ladybug. And I know Lila came to the same conclusion. And her resisting to answer the question is such a good way to build tension. And we can see her getting more stressed the more times Lila asks her if she is Ladybug.
Comment j'ai pu croire que tu me mentais? Pardonne-moi, je t'aime.
Dis-moi que toi aussi tu m'aimes encore.
Évidemment que je t'aime encore.
That was actually sweet and romantic. And unlike other times when they did kiss, here I felt something. I felt the kiss. I felt the emotion. I felt something in my heart. And her I love you to Adrien was the sweetest thing ever.
J'aurai la réponse à ma question, Marinette du Cheng. Je suis sûr que tu as des secrets et tu ne pourras pas me les cacher éternellement.
I'd say Lila got close to succeeding in less than one season compared to Gabriel ever could. And she is closer than ever to winning, and I cannot wait to see that day. Marinette, Adrien, Alia and Nino reconcile and things go back to the way they were. And the idiot trio aren't happy to see this. Marinette still hides the truth from Adrien about his father. Later we see Marinette willingly give up her Miraculous to Alia because she got AKUMATIZed.
T'as fait de mal à personne.
Alia a raison, tu as retrouvé tes esprits à temps. Oui, mais seulement grâce à Adrien. Imaginez ce qui aurait pu se passer s'il n'avait pas été là.
Ne te reproche pas des choses qui ne se sont pas passées. On a tous des moments de faiblesse.
Yeah, wow, I understand Marinette's decision here. It would be safer if someone else was the guardian and had the ladybug earrings. And it's true, even strong people have weak moments.
Tsuki, hein? Transforme-moi.
That will ensure no one finds the letter and that the truth stays hidden. But Scarabella and Mr. Bug can access the yo-yo, so what's stopping them from finding out the truth? I'm just putting that out there. And the episode ends. Now then, my thoughts. I honestly loved this episode. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Not 10 out of 10 because I feel like Marinette's potential as an AKUMATIZed villain was missed, but at the same time, I see why her being out in the open fighting the heroes wouldn't have made sense since she doesn't have any other power than fixing hearts. So her fighting the heroes would have been no use since she could easily lose. But I will say that she looked hella awesome when she was AKUMATIZed. I asked your thoughts on the episode, and here is what you all had to say. NXXXL0005726 says, Lloyd and Ray are so gay. Yeah, they are gay, but they're hiding it by pretending to hate love. I don't know who said, a little bit underwhelming. I wish we saw a bit more of Heartfixer, like what her powers could do, and the only thing that really moved the story forward was seeing Ladybug hide the letter in her yo-yo. I understand what you mean. I see why people found it underwhelming because I would have also liked to see them fight Marinette, but her powers didn't exactly allow it. Floofy Bliss says, I know people may think differently, but I loved this episode. Oh my gosh, it had everything. Marinette AKUMATIZed, Adrien Crash Out Chrysalis, and a very smart villain plan all in one. I'm just sad it was so short. Also, I might be alone in this, but the evil trio are my favorite new additions this season, cause for once, a villain is evil for the sake of it. Nearly all of the old villains had some sad backstory, but these guys just love the game and it's hilarious. That's true. I also love them for some reason. They feel kinda more real than a bad person who has a sob story because there are people out there who are evil for the sake of it. Janesha Jones says, it was good and I did like it, but I wish there was more fight scenes. But other than that, I liked it. Yeah, I also wish there was a fight scene, but it's fine. I'm not complaining. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. CESJR L7P says, I haven't seen it yet, but my only critique so far is the animation. As with other episodes of Season 6, I wish some episodes had the animation quality of other episodes. Vampire Miraculous Driver, Grand Diaper, and Lady Chaos should have had the animation quality of Revelators. Same goes for this episode. Mr. Agrest, Yaxi Gozen, and Noe should have had the animation quality of El Toro de Piedra. The Dark Castle should have had the animation quality of Daddy Cop and Where Papas, with the exception of the scenes of Bunny Bug and Marinette. A Very Good Night should have had the animation quality of Sleeping Siren. I don't mind the animation quality for Climatic Queen and the Ruler, but I do wish the animation in Climatic Queen somewhat resembled the animation quality of Daddy Cop, and I wish the animation quality in the Ruler, specifically some character facial expressions, resembled that of Revelator. I do pay a lot of attention to detail, but not that much. Outside of noticing some differences in the episodes, in terms of animation, they all look exactly the same to me. All the episodes have high animation quality, to me at least. And on the topic of animation, I think Marinette getting akumatized in the new animation style instead of the old one feels wrong. Not wrong, just imagine her getting akumatized in the old animation and SAMG animation style with Angel of Darkness playing in the background. That would have been epic. Nayexnet said, all part of the plan. Ray and Loy kissing? Yeah, that was quote-unquote part of the plan. Simon Dokifloof says, this episode was great. I freaked out when Marinette almost renounced her role as both Guardian and Ladybug. If Waze was only upset when Fu lost his memory of the Miraculous, then Tiki is going to cry when Marinette does it, because Tiki is more than just another holder to her. Marinette is Tiki's best friend. I don't think I'll be able to handle the day Tiki won't see Marinette again. Honestly, I don't know myself, says, the bully trio is either very committed to the bit or hella gay. They're gay. They are gay. I mean, it was obvious with Ray, but Nelson and Lloyd too? King Paul says, wow, such a good episode. I loved how Adrien noticed the letter from Gabriel and told Marinette she can tell him the truth whenever she's ready. Such wholesome vibes. Yeah, it's wholesome now, but when he finds out, it won't be so wholesome anymore. Anonymous 1986 says, I saw someone say, the butterfly holder can't read minds. They can just read the emotions of people, and I think it was the fatal flaw in Lila's plan in this episode. She overdid it. Marinette's pain was so much that she didn't even care about being Ladybug and anything else during the akumatization. So even trying to read in her emotions wouldn't work, because she was fallen into so much pain and was just too focused on Adrien. And I 100% agree with that. That's the thing though, Marinette knew what Lila was asking. She just didn't answer. She was aware of it. But I see what you mean. Emotion-wise, Marinette was too focused on Adrien. But Lila was so close. Xenomaster says, I loved it. I loved it too. Glitchy says, lore-wise, it was a 10 out of 10, but everything else was shit. I'd like some more information actually. If by lore you mean the entire setup of Marinette being akumatized and the plan, then yes, I agree. That was brilliant. But the akumatization part wasn't shit, but I see what you mean. It wasn't the best or what most fans were hoping for. And that is all I have to say for now. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and please let me know what you thought on this episode. Only this episode, and any theories you can make from this episode for the future. I'd love to read it. See you soon, and stay miraculous!